following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Hangin with Cowboys.
Blowing out of the backfield, exploding down the sideline.
This is Hangin' with the Boys, broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star in Frisco. Now, your hosts, Nate Newton, Kurt Daniels, and Shannon Gross.
888-855-2297, but don't call us until the second segment. Gil Brandt, the newest member of the Ring of Honor. And welcome to the show, the only member of our Ring of Honor, Bryan Broaddus.
Broaddus, what's up, baby?
What's
yes,
up,
sir.
Broaddus? How are you this Friday?
You guys brought me in because I'm old enough to remember Gil Brandt.
Me too, brother.
20 years of going to football games and the Cowboys.
Yeah.
It's 1972 to 1992.
This guy knows a little
Guy-
something about Gil, too.
Yeah, he brought me in, yeah. But, hey, tell us a Gil Brandt story.
Kurt, by the way, Kurt, we're thinking about you. Kurt having some tests done today.
Yeah, always thinking about
Hoping
Kurt.
for good news out of that. So, what you got, Broaddus?
No, when you start talking about guys that affected, and I mean this in a positive way, or, your job, my job when I was an NFL scout, things that, we kind of like take for granted now, like the combine and pro days and stuff like that. And you realize there's a man walking around that, today is getting inducted into the Ring of Honor, or, going to be part of that here when the New Orleans game takes place. But he had such an effect on everything that we do now in the National Football League. He talks about his boss and Tex Strand, but what Gil did for scouts is incredible. And you think about this, how he's, like I just think about pro days. I think about Gil telling me the story of the time he timed a player in a airport terminal, a 40-yard dash.
Yeah.
Marked off 40 yards and had a guy run on the carpet in an airport terminal and flew to the next school. Saw one time Gil take pool chalk, put it on a kid's fingers. Didn't have the Vertex machine. Took pool chalk, put the blue pool chalk on the kid's index finger, measured him out, got a spot on the wall, and then had the kid jump, and then measured between the time he reached, and you're sitting there thinking, wow, okay. And then they invent the Vertex, and so yeah, just so many things that I think fans really enjoy, like say the combine, the interest in the draft. All that is Gil Brandt.
Didn't I hear was he?
He's incredible.
Was he part of the? You always hear about the trade value chart. Was he part of that?
No, he really wasn't part of that. The first time I ever heard trade value chart was Jimmy Johnson and a guy named McCoy.
Okay.
Yeah.
That when we were in Green Bay, and this was in the early '90s, that they had come up with this chart that they used for value, and we were all up there in Green Bay. We're like, what are they talking about? We weren't a very big numbers team. We were a height, weight, speed team. As far as evaluations. But no, Gil had a lot of things. There's just so many things that Gil did. He was in an era too where we had the NFL and the AFL. And
Yes, he
stashing
was.
players,
Yeah.
and he just told the story about how he held up the draft for 6 hours to get a medical report on Mel Renfro. And so you're sitting there thinking, how can you hold the draft up for 6? But they did. They that's kind of an era where. You go back and you kind of laugh and you say, man, they used to take players off. Those owners would walk in with Street and Smith magazine, and they'd walk in. Well, this guy's an All-American. This guy, they just like a list of guys. I mean, Gil was the guy that actually went out to the school. I will tell you a real quick funny story about Gil. Mm-hmm. Gil knew how to use his expense account. Gil was really good at using his expense account. One time he had to get his dry cleaning done, right? Really didn't want to pay for it on his own. So he took a road trip to Tulsa, just up the road, got on Southwest Airlines. There and took a road trip to Tulsa, had all his dry cleaning with him, dropped it off on the way into school. And then when he was done scouting his players, picked up his dry clean on the way back, and he was able to expense it.
Yeah.
Gil always, he was a very creative man.
on and off the field.
Very creative man. And one more other quick little story. We're at the East-West game in Palo Alto, California. And Gil is this guy. He's got this beautiful looking Stanford tracksuit on. You know, the S with the tree, the pine tree in the middle of it. You know, beautiful logo, red, beautiful Nike suit. Gil walked over. He goes, "Where'd you get that suit?" Well, we have him here at Stanford. And he goes, "Oh, okay." Hey, that suit's, boy, it's a nice suit. He kept every time he passed by the guy, he would ask him about the suit. Next day, guess who had a tracksuit on? Gil. Gil had the red tracksuit. So Gil always had a way of kind of, he would manipulate things. He'll work you now. He will work you to the point where, like, I bet you the guy went back to the locker room. Gil probably followed him back to his office and made him take the tracksuit off and give it to him right then and there.
I'm a head personnel guy for the Dallas Cowboys.
But he had a lot of great relationships. I mean, you go around the country. And you talk about Gil Brandt too. It's like these old school, departments. The Michigans, the Ohio States, the University of Texas was a big one for him. Alabama, everywhere that I've ever gone on pro day, Gil Brandt has managed to show up, and he's treated like royalty everywhere we've gone.
Yeah.
So
if you guys,
I had a job because of Gil Brandt, because of what he did with scouting and the development of going out on the road and evaluating players and all that. So always grateful. He's one of the pillars of the National Football League.
And this is what separates Gil Brandt from all other scouts. And Broaddus agreed to this. Is he had his own stash of players.
Yeah.
He went to so many schools,
and black colleges too. Yeah.
And that's where he mastered.
Yeah.
He mastered it. And he was smart enough to say, okay, this dude here.
Yeah.
Any other team could be a first or second round. Man, he'd get him dudes free agents.
Yeah. Yeah. He was amazing.
The master, bro.
They were them in the old Kansas City Chiefs in the AFL days. If you look at the Chiefs roster when they were winning the Super Bowl in '69, I think it was, or '70. They had a really good handle. A lot of NFL teams didn't have a really good handle on the black player.
Ooh,
they were going into Grambling and to Jackson State and Alcorn and those
SWAC.
They were scouting that. They were scouting that just as hard as they were scouting Michigan and Ohio State and Notre Dame and those places.
When they wanted a one-on-one corner, a man-to-man corner, they always stayed in the SWAC. And even when I went to college, the
Florida A&M guy. Right?
Oh man, they wanted them, bro. They wanted them SWAC players that could play that press man, bro.
Yeah.
Ooh. And that's what he was great at. That's what Gil had a knack for talking to my people, black people.
Yeah.
He had a knack.
Yeah.
I'm serious now.
Yeah.
He was sweet at that.
Yeah. The things if you guys haven't done a lot of research on Tex and Gil, the things that they did back in their time that still translate to today's game. Like,
I don't think there's some things you can't get away with though, but they had a few that were a little like, you actually did that, and they're like, yeah, we did,
Yeah.
Well, they had the commissioner in their back pocket.
That is true. That is very true. Gil and Tex were very, very close to Commissioner Rozelle.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, Jerry Jones tells a story. Can I tell another quick story?
Oh, absolutely.
Jerry Jones story. I'm sorry, I don't mean to make
no.
this
This
story
is this is your segment. Whatever you
I
want
appreciate.
to do
We got to talk about the Tennessee Titans though.
Not really,
because Casey's a good player for them.
Yeah, I done gave him the whole spiel. Go ahead on. We want to hear your stories.
When Jerry was sitting at Valley Ranch, and he told the story one time. We were at Chris Hall's birthday party. He was Chris's coordinator of college scouting. He said he told a story about the time when he was sitting in what was his office at Valley Ranch. He was sitting across the table from Tex Ram, and Tex was negotiating his buyout. He was thinking, okay, this is what I have to do and all. And Jerry's across the table talking to him. Finally, they agree on that, and Tex goes, okay, very good. And so he turns around, he spins around at his desk, hits the phone, picks up the phone, hits the button. He says, yeah, Pete, you can give him the team. I've got everything I need to do here. I've got it all arranged, so go ahead and give him the team. So basically, Tex Ram was holding up the sale of the Cowboys until he got his deal done. And Jerry made Jerry wait on the other side of the table, and he was direct line to the commissioner, say, okay, give Jerry the team. I've got everything I needed out of this. It's a great story. Jerry Jones got some tremendous. I wish everybody could go to dinner with Jerry Jones just to listen to the stories.
Listen to the real stories.
Yeah, he's got some stories that you just go.
Not when he's trying to entertain you, but when he's telling you what the deal is.
But that's the relationship that Tex Schramm and Gil Brandt And that's how they could hold up the draft for 6 hours, because they had the power to do those types of things.
Wow.
Can you imagine holding up the draft for 6? I mean, we do the draft in here, pick by pick by pick, and it's hard enough to do it for the 12, 15 hours we do. And
Can you imagine starting at 1 a.m?
Yeah.
Holding it up for 6 hours?
No. The draft used to be. I mean, the draft was forever. I mean, the draft went on for all these rounds. I mean.
17.
Yeah, no. Quick story too. I mean,
17.
Green Bay.
Wow.
Green Bay at the time, the 17-round draft, and Dave Hanner, who worked for Vince Lombardi, goes. They were down to the last round, and he had to catch a train. That's when they used to have to take trains to go play on the West Coast swings and stuff from Green Bay. And Dave Hanner, Hog Hanner goes. He told the secretary, he goes, administrative assistant, gave her 3 names and says, if any one of these names are available, pick them in the last round for us. I had to go catch the train. Yeah. That just shows you how far the drafts come. And Gil Brandt, those guys were part of that. They were part of that. There's 17 rounds, man. A lot of picking going on.
And it was about 26 teams then? 20?
It was less than it was less than that.
Teams.
Yeah, it was trying to think of the exact number.
Yeah, it wasn't a bunch of teams, but that's a lot of players.
I remember 76 when I was when I really, like I said, I started going to games in 1972.
Right.
And when Texas Stadium was first open, and for 20 years, I mean, until I went to work for the Packers, we had season tickets, and I'd go, and Gil Brandt, those teams that he had were incredible. And the great thing about those teams were, those guys never moved in free agency. Roger Staubach was always involved.
Yeah.
Harvey Martin was always involved. Jethro Pugh, he told a story, was always involved. Randy White was same. They never moved. So I got to see the same players play over and over and over again, and never lost them in free agency.
How did you get into scouting? I don't know if I've ever heard this story.
You
played at LSU,
yeah,
right?
I played at LSU, and then I went to work as an assistant recruiting coordinator after I was finished. So I was
that was the first job out of college.
First job out of college, I was evaluating players at LSU, and then I went to work at Texas A&M in 1990. And so then I got fortunate enough to go from A&M to NFL Europe.
Okay.
So yeah, with Tex Schramm. Matter of fact, Tex Schramm was my boss, and a guy named Chet Franklin. He was working with us in NFL Europe, and he said, "When I get an opportunity to get you out of here, I'm going to move you along." And I said, "Well, I appreciate that." But I was happy. I was happy seeing the world. I was 20, I was 20 some odd years old. Seeing the world for free, and so. My first opportunity, he got me a job interview with the Packers and with Ron Wolf, and on a Tuesday, and I started with the Packers on a Thursday.
Wow!
I moved from Green Bay. I met in Tulsa, Oklahoma, at a hotel at a Marriott in Tulsa, and Mr. Wolf said, he goes, "Well, when can you start?" And I said, "When do you need me?" He goes, "How about Thursday?" So I picked up my life on Wednesday and moved to Green Bay, and lived there for 5 years. But yeah, that's how it was. I was really fortunate. A lot of people, we go out and speak to groups and stuff like that. We talk to people, and they're like, I spoke to this class one time at this university at North Texas, and I go, folks, there's nothing I studied that got me my job. And the teacher looked at me like, "Are you kidding me?" But
that teacher should know better.
Yeah, but there's nothing I studied, and just sometimes in life you've just got to get with the right people. You just got to prove your worth to the right person, and that person has to not be afraid to recommend you, and then that person who they're recommending you to has to give you the opportunity. And that's my life has been that way. I'm not smart. I'm not smart at all, but I've been very fortunate to be smart in football, and that's got me opportunities.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Broaddus,
nice to see you, huh?
Well, good seeing you.
No, what do we got? We got 10 minutes. I got to be on the radio at 105.3.
Okay. Well, hey.
I got a question for Broaddus. Does he know the story about Gil trying to trade up not trying to trade up? The 49ers hopped ahead of Gil Brandt and the Cowboys to get Jerry Rice. But the Cowboys had been targeting Rice the entire time.
Yeah, those are some. I don't know the exact story of how that happened. I do know though that Bill Walsh. I know in Bill Walsh's book he talked about that they. Matter of fact, Bill Walsh was adamant. Jerry Rice ran a very poor 40 time.
Yes, he did.
Really poor 40 time. And they finally sent Bill Walsh sent one of his scouts down there. And he says, "Don't come back unless you got a good 40 time." And he goes, and basically told him, if you have to make up the 40 time, you do it. I'm drafting this guy. So but there's there's been a lot of great general managers and personnel guys like Gil Brandt that that this league has been very fortunate to have.
Let me say something, man. Jerry Rice,
Mississippi Valley.
Yeah, I went and saw him then play Louisiana Tech back in the day.
This is what's so funny.
him and Walter Payton, Jackson State.
You remember Mr. Sanjay Lal talking about toting the bricks?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Jerry's hands are incredible.
Well, Jerry Daddy used to throw the big blocks.
He was a bricklayer. Yeah.
To his son. His son used to catch him.
Catch him, yeah.
See, and that's what I'm saying. It's one thing to tote bricks, but learn how to catch them.
Yeah.
Now football becomes very easy.
Yeah.
And he came into the league, Broaddus, remember, his first year, they thought, like, this dude can't catch.
Can't catch. Yeah.
Then all of a sudden.
Yeah.
You can catch a ball, you can catch a wrench.
He caught a lot of balls.
Yeah, man. Wow. But anyway, man, any more?
No, it's good. Let's talk about these Tennessee Titans. Congratulations, Gil Brandt.
Yes,
sir.
congratulations.
The Hall of Fame will be next.
Well
He
deserved.
came and got
well
me, so-
deserved.
yeah.
I have one name that I want to ask about, and one name only, because you turned me on to this guy.
Amari Cooper.
Yeah, that's a good one to have.
Nah, forget Jamal.
Okay.
His name was Jarrell
Casey.
Casey.
Yeah.
Tell him how good he is.
No, he is good. Nate Newton would not want to block Jarrell
No,
Casey very
sure
much.
would.
No.
Jarrell Casey would give Nate Newton some problems because he's a quick guy, real quick guy. He's kind of Nate loved those big kind of guys
Yeah.
he can get his hands on, the Gilbert Browns of the world. That
Right.
he could go belly to belly with and block.
Yeah, that's right.
These kind of guys that kind of swim and move and all that, that's going to be a problem for Nate. But yeah, this is the one that, to me, the when you watch the Titans play defensively, they haven't given up many points, but they played some offenses that have been challenged, and they're going to play another one on Monday night. This one that we cover every day. So, but you're going to have to block Jarrell Casey. I think the way to beat the Titans is, I've come on here before and said you got to run the ball, you got to do this, you got to do that. I do think that the Titans can give up plays through the air. They've struggled. They've struggled with Malcolm Butler. They've struggled with Logan Ryan. They've struggled with Adoree Jackson. They just haven't found a way to get people. They haven't, in some down and distance situations, I've seen people make plays. Every game that I've watched, it seems like everybody has thrown a touchdown pass on these guys that's been longer than 50 yards. I just go into these games, I'm going, my gosh, did it happen again? I mean, last week, before their bye week, they were in London to play the Los Angeles Chargers. And the Chargers, Phillip Rivers, they loaded it up and just first play of the game, just shot it down the left sideline, and it was a big play. Eagles hit them on a big play. Baltimore's hit them on a big play. Everybody that they've played, Philadelphia, I said all these teams have thrown the ball on these guys down the field. So, but it's a matter of can this offensive line protect? And I asked Jason Garrett about that today, the twist stunts, the stuff that happens up front. He says, no, we absolutely have to get better at that because this is a big part of Tennessee's game. If they're going to get a sack, it's going to be because of twist stunts, loop stunts, T, E, E, T, all these kinds of different looks that, Nate can better explain that give problems if you're on different levels and the lack of communication.
How big of a difference do you think we'll see immediately in 3 to 4 weeks from now from the offensive line coach change? Do you think you'll be able to notice it in this game?
This man right here will tell you something that I hope I'm not putting words in his mouth, but I think he'll tell you this. You're going to go from you're going to go from catching blocks to punching blocks.
Yeah.
You're going to go with hand.
He said it.
Okay, good.
Just punch him.
You're going to see a more physical, style of, and I do believe this of my heart, because your heart and my ears, I hear. Right. I see with my eyes, I believe with my heart, and I hear with my ears, though. This offensive line has had their problems. We've all seen that. But I know they're excited about getting back to trying to be a more physical offensive line. Mm-hmm. I don't think they want to catch blocks anymore. I don't think they want to have to low hand, high hand, and all that, and punch
be on different levels.
Be on different levels and punch with. I think that they played poorly. They'll admit it. But I think Tyron Smith's right. The guy got fired because the guy didn't do a good enough job. That's basically what he told you. I'm sorry if I'm making it sound a lot harsher than it really is.
He got dismissed. Yeah.
But this, I think you'll see it immediately, and not just because it's a home game. I think you'll see this team this offensive line come out and be more physical.
How do you think they're going to use? Now they have a new toy, Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
How do you think they're going to integrate him in the offense?
Very quickly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he is different. I talked to a couple scouts. One of the great things about my area is the scouts have to come by to get to the cars.
And the candy jar.
They love eating candy. Scouts love candy. They stop by and they talk and they'll tell you it's different out there now. It's a different sound. It's a different, a different feel, a different vibe with him. This guy's he's a type of player they don't have. They made a mistake. They admit it. That's why they gave up a first-round pick to get this guy. Mm-hmm. because they wanted to go get somebody that could go get the football, that can run the routes, the tough routes, and come down with it. Cole Beasley's done a hell of a job, but they need somebody else. They need another one of those guys that can go in there and make some big-time plays down the field. And this guy's capable of doing that. They haven't had that guy, in a while. I mean, I say a while because Dez Bryant at one time was that type of player, but we know Dez Bryant hadn't been that type of player for probably 2-3 years. So that's where I think you're at with this guy. Immediately, he's going to go into the lineup, and they're going to try and get him the football, and he needs to reward him with some plays.
Hey, what have you seen on tape from him? I hear that. From what I hear, he heads up field too quick sometimes, and that's where the drop problem.
That was the drop problem that I saw, was that he tries to get north and south really quickly. And if you go on DallasCowboys.com, I kind of broke down a couple of plays. They were playing the Titans last year, and you'll see him snatch the ball on a slant and then immediately head for the goal line and then blast it in with some help. I mean, he's meeting guys. He shows balance, body control, all those things. This guy's very capable of taking over a game that way. So yeah, I'm not saying that every drop has been because of him trying to get north and south, but his majority of his bad plays are him trying to do something before the ball hits his hands. And I think that's where I think he understands that. But I applaud them for going out and getting a guy to try and be a difference maker. They everybody in this division went out and made a move because they see exactly what we've all seen. Yeah. This division's here for the taking. Yeah. Go find a way to go get it.
Every week it seems like on the opponent's defensive side of the ball, there's always one or two guys that you haven't really heard of until we play them, and then you hear their names and you watch and you're like, my God, these guys are beasts. Who are those two guys on our defensive? Demarcus Lawrence, obviously, but is there another guy that other teams talk about? Watch this guy. guy.
I think you have to be concerned of, and Nate likes to talk about the human log. Mm-hmm. Like Antoine Woods inside. If you're a guard that lacks power and a center that lacks power, the human log can give you some problems inside. I think people respect the heck out of Byron Jones, too. Not that the fact they don't throw at him. I think they respect the way that he covers, the way he goes about his job. And I think you have to respect, as as a rookie, Leighton Vander Esch. I think you really have to respect his ability to get to the football along with Jalen Smith.
On Jones, Broaddus, and what I've learned from him from his rookie year to now in covering, his windows are so closer now. He is so much closer to the receiver, man. Whereas before he would, on an in route or something, or a double move route, he would let the separation and he'll try to catch up. Yeah. But now he'll try to keep his hands on him, and then when they try to separate, he try to close.
He's a good offhand player. Yeah, he's a stab, release, keep with the guy. Those are the things that he can do really, really well.
Well, Broaddus, any parting words? Anything we should be looking for? Anything?
No, you just go get you a victory. At home. Get this thing back to 4-4.
What does this victory mean? What would this victory here mean?
Well, it means that then you get another opportunity to go to Philadelphia the next week. Now you got some division games coming up. You got Philadelphia coming up. You got Washington coming up again. These next 3 games I think are really, really important for the Cowboys. I really do. I mean, you got to go get this victory. But find a way to go win a game at Philadelphia. You've had some decent success at Philadelphia. And in the Atlanta game, at noon, they're a little bit suspect on defense offensively. But you got some tough games you got coming up with your defense. It'll be the test to see if you can hold up. This Tennessee team's offensively challenged. We'll see what else happens.
What's your prediction?
I picked the Cowboys to win. Got to go do radio.
All right. See you, Broaddus.
Hey,
appreciate it.
Thank you very much, man.
We'll take a quick break.
Too. Great. Travel
we'll be
safe.
Back
Travel safe.
in just a moment on Hanging with the Boys.
A man's Stetson doesn't just protect him from life's elements. It projects an unstoppable and legendary spirit, just like the men wearing silver and navy on the field every Sunday. Since 1865, Stetson hats are American-made with pride right here in Texas. They are still the official crown of all self-respecting Cowboys. And Stetson is proud to be on the field with America's team. Find Stetson hats in the Pro Shop or at Stetson.com today.
Want to use what the pros use? How about the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black? Right now, you can get the Jack Black Playmaker, a curated collection of Cowboys locker room favorites for just $10 with free shipping. The Playmaker includes 4 Jack Black skincare favorites, plus a full-sized Intense Therapy lip balm and a Cowboys can cooler. Go to getjackblack.com/Cowboys and use the code word Cowboys. The Jack Black Playmaker, $10, free shipping.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with sideline access and photo ops with current players, alumni, and cheerleaders. That's not all, though. You'll get to talk X's and O's with Senior Director of Player Personnel Will McClay, and of course with yours truly, me, Bryan Broaddus. You can trust the official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, and with us, you'll travel like a pro. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
While a player can look good on paper, it's when he's out on the field that you really find out what he's made of. That's why the Cowboys rely on more than just stats and scouting reports when building their team. When picking a tractor, it's why you should rely on more than just specs and features. You've got to take it out and put it to the test. The Cowboys did when they named John Deere their official tractor. Experience one for yourself. Visit myjohndeeredealer.com/football.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Back. Sorry, I was at the other end of the table trying to do Kurt's job for him since he's not here.
Oh my God, you still ain't gonna get this man no love.
A true cowboy loves his freedom, and Tommy John gives you that feeling of freedom where it counts with a contour pouch that nestles you in fabrics you can barely feel. Shop exclusive Cowboys underwear at TommyJohn.com/Cowboys for 20% off your first order. That's TommyJohn.com/Cowboys. Okay, here's what we're doing today. This is not a normal call-in day. Today, you have 30 seconds to ask your question. We won't interrupt. Say hi. Say hey to Nate. Tell Nate it's great to talk to him because that's what everybody does, including me every day. Call us at 888-855-2297, 888-855-2297. You have 30 seconds, and then Douglas is cutting you completely off. Nate and I are going to answer it very quickly. We want to see how many calls we can get through in the next 30 minutes or so.
Yes.
I want to start the clock with their first syllable.
Yes.
So you'll invite them on the show. When they say something, I'm hitting
the button.
The stop.
All right. And we're going to try to see how many calls. This is caller one.
Because I've been getting a lot of people saying, man, I can't get through. I'm finding out who want to get through.
That's
today.
right. And if guess what? If we get through a call, do you have two lines back there, Douglas?
I do.
Let's go, Douglas.
If we get to a dead spot where there's nobody waiting on the line where we get into the next call, we're stopping the show. And it's Friday. We're getting out of here early. You
Ooh,
go
I
with
got
that, Nate?
stopwatch. I got a stopwatch.
You got a stopwatch?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, here we go. James in New York City. What's happening? 30 seconds, James.
Hey, boys, thanks for taking the call. All right, Mike, that's nothing to do with the game. Why are we wearing the blue jerseys at home? I mean, to me, tradition's everything. Yankees don't wear anything but pinstripes. That's what we should be. I'd like to hear your thoughts, boys, because we should only wear white at home always and forever. Thanks, guys. Have a good weekend.
That is a great question, and that is also a great tradition. If you don't know the story behind it, Tex Schramm started that out back in the day because he wanted the fans at home to see all the other different colors of the visiting team's jersey. So he put the Cowboys in white so all the colors would come through the stadium. And it seems like we lose every time we're in Navy. It's not true. We're about 500, but it feels like we lose every time we're in Navy.
I hate blue.
You didn't like them when you played in them?
No. I'm with the caller. Thank you.
What about you, Douglas? Douglas is probably taking a call right now. I like it because it's different, but I get the tradition and the white and wearing that at home, and I like it, but I don't mind it. I like to see it mixed up every once in a while. I like to see it mixed up.
I like the white.
You like the white?
Yeah.
Man, please.
But I like the, and I'm in quiet voice because Broaddus is on the radio in here.
Yeah, I hear him in the background. I hear him in the background.
You can hear him.
Yeah.
But, there used to be the superstition about the blue jersey. And so in the mid to late 80s, Tex Schramm changed the blue jersey, and you got the silver piping on there. And it used to just be a plain college level looking blue jersey. And ever since that change, and I bet the Joneses have done some adjustments to that blue jersey, it's a really cool jersey, but I still like the home field whites.
Yeah. Do we have anybody else on the phone?
We do. We have Adam in Atlanta.
Okay.
Adam in Atlanta. You got 30 seconds. What's up?
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Great.
Hey, looking forward to y'all coming to Atlanta. So I got tickets for that game. Excited. So looking forward to it. Hopefully it won't be like last year. But a question I have for you guys, how much does the offensive line coach affect the tight ends? I mean, I know there's a tight end coach, but how does his interaction with the tight ends coach affect their play? Because obviously we've seen a decline because, we don't have Jason Witten there. But how does their communication with each other play on that?
1.
Great question.
Thanks, Nate.
See? Great question. And I'm going to defer to my co-host, Nate Newton, because I have no idea how involved the offensive line coach is with the tight ends.
When with Tony Wise, I think we had a pretty good tight ends coach. I can't remember who it was. I don't want to say Robert Fortas, maybe somebody like that. They knew what to do and how to block. But with Hudson Hawk, we would bring the tight ends over a little bit more and get them a little bit more involved in what we were doing and how we needed certain things blocked and stuff like that. Because we by that time we were really established as a pretty good run team. So,
do tight ends block different than offensive linemen, or is the technique the same?
Some of the techniques are the same nowadays. What I see tight ends do is pathetic, but it gets the job done. A lot of guys just shield block as tight ends. You're not going to get a lot of movement, but when you get somebody like Grunt who can set the edge for you, that's a unique thing. And I think Kelsey will try the
taller, bigger guys that can get leverage.
Man, that's why Hannah was so key to us. Hannah could set an edge. Hannah could set it. We got another caller. Hey, thanks. Great call, sir.
Great call. Glenn in Ottawa, Canada. What's up north of the border, man?
Just waiting to come down to visit.
Well, come on.
I'm coming. I got tickets for the Washington game and the New Orleans game.
Awesome. We'll see you then. You got 20 seconds. What's up?
Question. With the problems that the offensive line has had, why do we have a fullback on the team? Can they not use the fullback to assist in the blocking? Hopefully Nate can shed some light on that. Thank you.
Great question. Thanks for calling in, Glenn.
29 seconds.
Perfect time.
Yeah, man.
What you think about that?
You know what,
Why are they not using the fullback more?
I don't know. I really don't know. That's just one of the many questions I have of why we had 7 wide receivers, 4 tight ends, and a fullback.
If you're not going to use them, right?
If they're not going to be used at least 35% of the time, why have them all? We use the fullback maybe every other game.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of teams in the league that don't even use a fullback anymore, right?
No, they just like, man, forget this. We'll use a lineman. So wow. I mean, that's a great question, sir. I have no idea. That's something that we'll have to give Broaddus or Mickey to ask Coach Garrett why.
That'd be a good question.
Yeah, we'll write that down, Shannon, if you can remember it. And, get Mickey to ask that question of Broaddus because I do not have – and Broaddus is right in there. So, Douglas, don't let him leave before you ask that question to Broaddus.
Yeah, Douglas, make yourself useful. I know you're double fisting phones, but Alma in Longview, how are you? Hello, Alma?
Hello?
Hey,
Hello?
Alma, how are you?
You on? Let's go.
I'm good. Hello, guys. How y'all doing today?
We are great. How are you?
All right. I'm interested in why we don't have a new quarterback coach, a better quarterback coach, and why we let the one that we had go. But
that is a great question. Thank you for the call, and that's one that
I will never know why they let Wade Wilson go.
I know. They've loved Kellen Moore ever since he got in here, and that was Wade's guy. Wade, I think they hung on to Kellen Moore.
No, that was Coach Lanahan's guy.
That's what I meant.
Wade Wilson.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, that was Coach Lanahan. That still is Coach Lanahan. And I have no problems with that guy, Kellen Moore. But I don't know why they did not renew Coach Wilson. I think he was an asset to Dak. But now that's another question I've asked Dak, do you miss him? And, Dak probably – he sounds so much like Coach Garrett now, too.
I will say every time I call Kellen, I call him Coach. What's up, Coach? He just laughs.
Yeah.
He's still getting used to that name.
Yeah.
Back to the phones. Curly in Vermont. What's up?
Curly? Are you kidding me? It's Pearly with a P, man. Like peanuts?
We'll give you extra 10 seconds. Go ahead on, Pearly.
All right. This question is for Nate. Do former players ever give the players tips, especially you and the offensive lineman?
I got a story for you.
Get on it.
Yeah, I got a story for you.
Thanks. I love your show. Bye.
Charles Haley.
Just saw him,
He
by the
still
way.
went 20 seconds. He didn't go long.
Good for him. Just saw him in the lunchroom.
Charles Haley gives tips, but they ain't nice tips. We can't
even tell you what he
tell
says.
a guy. He can't even tell a guy in a night, okay, line up here, take this step without cussing him. Players give tips. Jay Novacek used to come out. Leon Lett is a coach. Who else? Who we got?
Andre Gerard.
Andre J. Gerard. What's the guy in
Tanner.
The guy in scouting.
Scouting.
Played defensive tackle.
Josh Brent.
They all give.
Philip Tanner.
They all help they all help and do what they can do, man. But
Coach Garrett.
Yeah, I stay out of the way because too many voices can confuse. Because you want to always put your spin on it as a player. But me personally, I try to watch and see what a coach has done. Like when I go to training camp, it's two things I try to accomplish: evaluate the team and its players, but I also try to see what the coach is trying to teach. And if I can add to what he or she is teaching, then I do. But if I can't, then I stay back out of the way.
Yeah, and you do that a lot more like at training camp than you do around here. Training camp, you're a little more involved in walking the sideline.
Yeah, hollering at them and saying a few things. But, man, because that one-on-one pass rush be nice. And then sometimes that one-on-one receivers in.
Do they do that? Do they only do that at camp, or do they do that
They do a
here?
little bit of one-on-one out there sometimes, but not much, because they getting ready for the season and they don't want to get beat up.
Yeah, that's a rough drill, man.
Yeah.
This is probably the most fun drill to watch at camp. Douglas, by the way, remind us to tell you after the show what Charles told us at lunch.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
I look forward to sweet.
Let's go back to phones. Greg in Columbus, what's up, man?
Hey, guys, I got a statement and I got a question for
You got 30 seconds. You better hurry up.
Okay, the question is, or the statement is, I truly believe this team will go 8-1, 7-2 to finish the season. I don't really the competition really doesn't scare me. And Nate, can you talk about that time when I forget which Super Bowl it was when Jimmy Johnson stood up and famous how about them Cowboys? What was going through your mind?
It's over. Cut him. I didn't even get what he said.
He wanted to know the story behind when Jimmy stood up in the locker room and said, "How about them Cowboys?"
That was after the 49ers NFC Championship game. That's when he hollered, how about them Cowboys? Because everybody predicted us that we was a year ahead of schedule.
Mm-hmm.
And Jimmy we ain't ahead of schedule. We right on time because we finna whoop these boys. And that's what he told the team. You know what I'm saying? That's what he told us.
Uh-huh.
So when we came back in the locker room, that's the first thing you holler, how about them Cowboys?
Kind of like,
hey,
I told you guys.
Yeah, and he tried to tell the media, but they didn't want to listen because, and let me say this right here, man.
Say something. Preach, Nate.
Let me say this right here. I was listening to Troy talk last night because Coach Gruden is tearing down his team.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot this. And they made a trade for Herschel Walker. And, man, what they said in those papers at that time, if Jimmy wouldn't have had a firm grip on us and we would have fed it, they dogged us royally, The Cowboys trade their only player. Where they going now? Nowhere ever. It was just ugly writings after ugly writings after ugly writings. And I look back on that right there, and those same guys and gals, and within 2 years, they want you to forget that. And I'm not telling the Raiders players to be mean and hateful because we wasn't built that way.
Mm.
But you got to remember when people write bad things about you. More importantly, sometimes you got to remember who wrote those bad things because we cross the line as media sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Even when Miss Hearns called in and hey, I'm Miss Hearns.
Mrs. Hearns?
Even when she called in, the first thing I thought was, did I cross the line?
Mm-hmm.
You know, did I say something that was not true? You know, and then I felt pretty good after I thought, you know, after my man missed his turn, I'm good. But anyway, I think about that. You gotta think about stuff like that, man. And the dude said, "How about them Cowboys?" Because that was a shout out to a whole lot of people that said, "Hey, you went to college and got this Jimmy Johnson. He don't know anything about the pros and this and you know just." I think all the bad things that we had to go through and endure, you know, we'd have never won Kevin Gogan, Nate Newton, Mark Tournay. You never would sniff the playoffs, let alone the Super Bowl. As long as you got Mark Tournay at your left tackle, you're going to always be in the garbage. I mean, they wrote that about us, bro. And
I remember people saying about Jimmy that because he was from college, they said, yeah, he knows how to coach boys, but he doesn't know how to coach men.
And Mr. Jones took over, guy, you know, walking around the locker room talking about singing a Beverly Hillbilly song.
Right.
I'm like, you know, but hey, I'm moving on, man. I'm moving on. It's just sometimes when I see that when they put that up on the TV last night, when Troy them brought that up on the TV, I said, boy, they said some ugly things about us.
Did Jimmy ever, when they were saying those bad things, did he ever address the outside noise with you guys and tell you guys not to lose focus, or do you just keep those separate and, hey, this is football, whatever said is said, we don't worry about it?
Jimmy sees that moment so when he realized that 90% of the media was not for him. He told us, he said, a lot of y'all won't be here to reap the benefits. But he said, we're going to take this town. And he says, us against the world. Not only the Dallas people, but the Cowboys are nationally known, international. He says, us against the world. And don't you ever forget it, and I got your back. Just stay with me. Boy, you know I took advantage of that, don't you?
Yeah, you did.
You know I took advantage of that, man.
Phil in Lafayette, you got 30 seconds. What's happening?
30 seconds?
Yes, sir.
Okay, man. Listen, I'll do this fast. Here's a little jingle I want to dedicate to Scott Linehan, because this needs to be in his head Monday and forever after. Okay, you ready? Okay, here we go.
You got 15 seconds, bro.
Okay. God, I drew a blank on
You might want to call back.
You got one man on to call back. You got 10 seconds.
Yeah, we're doing
a
different segment today.
You want to call back? All right. Yeah.
Douglas, hit him. Hit him with that 30 seconds.
30 seconds. You have 30 seconds.
He bailed.
Yeah, he bailed because
never mind.
He wanted to get on Lanahan, and you know, no, we didn't give you a chance to crush the coach.
Yeah, still our coach.
Yeah, I mean, still your coach. What's wrong, dog?
Mine. You're not taking responsibility.
How many calls we've had so far?
7.
Okay, let's go. Let's go, Douglas. Trying to get as many as we
We're
can.
We're open at the moment. Give him a phone
Oh,
number.
no. We said we were ending the show when we had an open
you haven't
moment.
given the number in a while.
888-855-22. We used to have it on the screen. 2297. 888-855-2297. What happened to the number that used to be on the screen? It looks so empty up there without Kurt.
I'm looking. Let's see.
And you know what? We always had the 214 number. We never had the 888 number. We might need to redo that graphic.
Yeah. Well, the graphic that's up right now, you're not going to see in the studio.
All right, let's take a quick break, Douglas. And when we come back, if we don't get any more callers, I'm serious, we're getting out of here on Hanging with the Boys.
If you're like me and you love... if you have a thing, then cutting the cord is scary. But then I found out I could switch to DirecTV Now and still get the live sports I love. No satellite needed, no bulky hardware, no annual contract, just...
Get the live sports you love. Try DirecTV Now for $10 a month for 3 months. Visit DirecTVNow.com. DirecTV Now. More for your thing. That's our thing. Use code REALDEAL. Limited time. Price for a little package. After 3 months, renews monthly at full price. Currently minimum $40 unless canceled. Prices may change. New subscribers only. Cancel anytime. Content varies by package and may be limited. Restrictions apply.
It's time for tailgating with the OtterBox boys.
OtterBox? The overprotected phone case company?
Yep, and they've got an essential tool for your next tailgate party. The bear-resistant venture cooler.
Now wait. In all my tailgating days, I've never seen seen bears tackling brats on the blacktop.
And you never will, because a venture cooler with a locking kit is basically bear repellent.
Can't wait to try it out at my next tailgate.
That's been Tailgating with the OtterBox, boys. Visit OtterBox.com to learn more about their certified bear-resistant venture coolers.
Want to use what the pros use? How about the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black? Right now, you can get the Jack Black Playmaker, a curated collection of Cowboys locker room favorites for just $10 with free shipping. The Playmaker includes 4 Jack Black skincare favorites, plus a full-sized Intense Therapy lip balm and a Cowboys can cooler. Go to getjackblack.com/Cowboys and use the code word Cowboys. The Jack Black Playmaker, $10, free shipping.
Now's a good time to tell you that SeatGeek is the new source of tickets for all your football needs this season. SeatGeek makes managing tickets easy, whether it's buying or transferring to a friend. They even tell you the best deals for every game based on their deal score technology, which rates every seat on historical data, price, and location. Download the SeatGeek app on your phone and take $20 off your first purchase using code DALLAS at checkout. SeatGeek. Life's an event. We have the tickets.
A man's Stetson doesn't just protect him from life's elements. It projects an unstoppable and legendary spirit, just like the men wearing silver and navy on the field every Sunday. Since 1865, Stetson hats are American-made with pride right here in Texas. They are still the official crown of all self-respecting Cowboys. And Stetson is proud to be on the field with America's team. Find Stetson hats in the Pro Shop or at Stetson.com today.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Back, hanging with the boys. Back to the phones. Jamil in Philly, what's up?
Jamil.
Hey, what's up, Nate?
Jamil, I got some good news, some bad news.
What's that?
The good news is we ain't playing the 30-second game, 30-second thing no more. The bad news is we got Mama Gross pretty soon, so you better hurry up.
Okay, I'll be quick. I'm not even going to talk about this Titans game because I already know we're going to wax them real quick.
Okay, what's up?
I'm here in Philly, and I got to hear the noise about this team every day. What do you guys think about this game in Philly? You guys think you think it's a daunting task, or you think we're going to come get them?
You know what, my
question. Thank you,
my
Jamil.
friend, and I'm being honest. I haven't even thought about Philly.
Me either.
I haven't thought about Philly. I know they went out and helped their team with Golden Tate.
I tell you what.
I love that, bro.
I don't know if Philly even matters if you can't win this game. Because if you can't beat the Titans at home with this kind of revamped offense with Amari Cooper, new offensive line coach, I don't think Philly even matters. I think you got to win. This is almost as big of a must win that you can have midway through the season. Because if you can't get it together against a struggling Titans team at home, who cares what happens? Right? You got to win this game. No, cussed. I did not.
You almost cussed.
Maybe almost. Maybe almost. Garrett Boston, what's up?
Hey, what's up, man? What's up, Mr. Boston?
Hey, how's it going? I
Good.
appreciate the call. Not many of us up here in Boston for you. But, my question was going to tag on to the Golden Tate thing, so I don't know if you guys still want to hear that or not.
Man, rock, man.
Okay, all right. So we got still play against Golden Tate 2 more times. We've already had him once. Up until the time when we played him with the Lions, we were generally pretty good guarding against the slot, and then he goes off for 8 catches, over 130 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So I know he's got a new quarterback, but, looking ahead a couple games, how do you think the defense is going to deal with him since he gave us so much trouble before? So that was it.
Well, just like I told, Shannon got a great spiel. Shannon got a great spiel. I haven't even looked at Philly, but Shannon give him the spills, Shannon.
The one I just gave?
Yeah, give it to him again.
It doesn't even matter what we do against Philly if you can't win this week.
Yeah.
So don't even worry about that yet.
Yeah.
Let's just take care of business Monday. Because if you can't do it Monday, I don't think it's going to matter. You might be 3 games back in the division. I'm not even looking at that.
Man.
One game at a time.
But if you ask me about Golden Tate, I love me some Golden Tate. Now, Douglas, he don't like him no Golden Tate.
Not so much.
Yeah, not so much. He respects him, but for some reason, he don't want him on the Cowboys, but he respects him as a player.
Yeah.
Do we have anyone on the phone?
We do.
Ooh.
Is it Mama Gross?
Who is it? Hello, who's on the phone?
Me.
Hey. Me?
She said me.
Hey, first off, how are you feeling? Mama Gross had surgery this week.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah. How are you feeling?
I feel like a human being today.
Are
for
y'all
once.
are y'all hopped up on pain meds?
Nope.
Oh,
Nope.
that's too bad. It'd be a lot more fun if you were.
There you go.
No, I didn't take them. I didn't need them.
Well, good. So you're feeling okay, huh?
I'm good.
All
I'm
right.
good.
Good. Well, how'd you do last week?
I won 4,
Yes, ma'am.
lost 2, and pushed 1.
All right. What does that bring you to for the year?
55%.
All right. Not bad, Mom. Not bad.
Okay, so walk us through it, Miss Gross.
Through the ones that I won,
Yes, ma'am.
I won the Eagles-Jaguar game.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I pushed the Bronco-Chiefs game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We lost the Packers-Rams game.
Mm-hmm.
Won the Seahawks-Lions game.
Mm-hmm.
Won the Saints and the Vikings game.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I won the Redskins and the New York Giants game.
And you won the Cowboys in the LSU game because they didn't play.
Right. But I lost the Ravens and the Panthers. So that was the 7 that I picked.
All right. Well, what you got this
Okay.
week? What are we doing?
Okay. So this week we're going with I don't want to pick the Falcons-Redskins game because I want the Redskins to lose.
But
so
you don't,
I'm not picking them.
But you don't think they will, right?
Well, I don't know. But
Okay.
they got to lose this week because we're going to win, and then we'll all be tied 4-3. So,
All right.
okay, Chiefs and Browns.
You're picking the Chiefs.
The Chiefs are giving up 8.5.
Taking the Chiefs, right?
I am because
You love
I think
the Chiefs.
the Browns are just not. They just haven't got it together.
Okay.
Taking the Chargers and the Seahawks are giving up 1.5.
So Seahawks minus 1.5?
Right. The Texans and the Broncos. The Broncos are giving up 1, and I'm going with the Texans.
Hang on. Texans. What was it again?
The Broncos are giving up 1. Texans plus 1. I'm taking the Texans
All right.
plus 1.
All right.
The Rams and the Saints. I'm taking the Saints minus 1.5.
New Orleans minus 1.5.
Because
Okay.
New Orleans playing at home, right?
Yes.
Cool.
Yes. So that's I'm got fingers crossed. I think they're going to do it. The Buccaneers got Fitzpatrick back. I think if they'd have put him in earlier, they may have had a
you
chance
love
to win that game.
Fitzpatrick too.
Yeah, well, his teams played for him. I mean, they got so excited. Okay, so the Buccaneers and the Panthers. The Panthers are giving up 6.5. I'm going with the Buccaneers.
Tampa plus 6.5. Okay.
All right, we got the big one, LSU.
Alabama in LSU, Death Valley.
At night.
Go ahead.
At night.
Yeah, it's a night game at home. Alabama's rated number 1 and LSU's rated number 3. And Alabama's giving up 15 points. I'm going to LSU.
LSU's getting 15?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes, they are.
Wow.
They started out at 14.1. They dropped down to 13.5, and now they're back up to 15.
Wow. Okay.
It's been fluctuating all week, and I've watched it up until last night, and I said, okay, this is the final line. And it's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
All right. We got you.
Okay. We got the Titans and the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm. Monday night.
Cowboys, yeah, Monday night at home in the blue jerseys.
Mm-hmm.
The Cowboys are giving up 6.5, and I'm going with Cowboys. I think all the changes that have gone on with the Cowboys this week, I have to agree with you. If they don't do it this week, we're not going to have to worry about the Eagles.
Right.
So we're going to win this game and move on, and I think everything that's happening right now is positive.
So Chiefs minus 8.5, Seahawks minus 1.5, Houston plus 1, New Orleans minus 1.5, Tampa plus 6.5, LSU plus 15, and Dallas minus 6.5.
You got it.
This is for entertainment purposes only. This is just for fun. No wagering is being made on this.
So if y'all, but where do you live at in Louisiana, Miss Gross?
West Monroe.
But if you see a lot of blue lights rolling down West Monroe,
better get out.
You better
come on over to Dallas.
Yeah.
Better run fast.
Yeah.
What are you doing this weekend?
Well, not a whole lot, considering that I'm just had surgery Wednesday morning. So
all right.
I'm going to watch football. Of course, everybody's glued to the TV here for LSU and Alabama.
And I get to watch football this weekend too, since we play Monday night. So I'll be out watching it as well.
I'll be texting you all weekend then.
Gil Brandt got into the Ring of Honor.
I watched it.
Yes.
I did. I watched it. That was very interesting.
Where did you watch it?
On my phone.
On Twitter, Facebook, the website, the app?
The website. I
Website.
watched it live on the website.
Okay.
What do you think about your son's little chicken feathers growing in his head?
What?
Well, I kind of got used to him. I like it with the little growth. I don't like it the slicked,
Right.
shaved.
Right.
But I like it with the little growth.
You like it this short?
Yeah, I do. I guess it's kind of growing on me. But if you let it grow out, I'd like it like that too.
Well, we'll see how Kurt's doing. Maybe I'll start letting it grow.
I predict you'll see Shannon this weekend.
I doubt that.
Because when you said you don't need your pills.
I'm gonna come get them.
Make a run.
No, Douglas. You know what?
I can say has to be a reason.
Douglas,
But-
I've had 3 hernia operations.
Oh my goodness!
And I've never taken a pain pill in my life.
Wow.
This is my second surgery this year. I had an emergency appendectomy at 64 years old. Now, that's just crazy. And I've never had a pain pill. And I just got through with surgery Wednesday and have not had a pain pill.
That's
so
awesome.
What is Nate saying? Doesn't fall far from the tree.
Yeah. Well, I don't take them because I know how much I like Miller Lite, and if I found something that made me feel better than that, I would have issues.
Well, I don't take them because I don't like the way it makes me feel out of control. I'm that control person. So.
Yeah, we hate to see your son walking around in his Tommy Johns out there in the middle of the Ford
I know,
Center.
that just wouldn't be a pretty sight, would it?
It
But
would
y'all
be
looked really
glorious.
sharp yesterday in your fleece outfits from JCPenney.
Well, thank you.
I thought those were nice.
Maybe you can have mine when we're done with promoting it.
Well, did y'all get Nate straightened out? Did they get you straightened out, Nate, where you could move?
Yes, this dude Eric was put through the grill by your son. So
Yeah, he better get it straight.
Yeah.
I was tired of
And-
seeing Nate struggle over there.
I know.
Yeah.
And Kurt, I'm praying for you and fingers crossed.
Yep, we are too. We're going to hear good things
Mrs.
next
Hearns?
week. No, Mrs.
Yeah.
It's Mama
Mrs.
Gross,
Gross.
not Mrs. Hearns.
Yeah, for sure. This is not Mrs. Hearns.
Well, thanks,
my
Mom.
God.
As usual, thank you for calling in. I'm glad to hear
Hey,
you're
Miss
feeling
Gross,
good.
did you hear about what Jay said the other day?
About what?
No, you didn't miss it. Yes, all right.
Oh, she heard it. You might have been. That might have been surgery day. You might
Yeah.
not have heard it. Go
You
back
might
and
not
listen
have
to
heard
it.
it.
Jay from Rhode Island called in.
Your
and
son set him up so pretty.
he talked about anatomy parts.
Oh, okay. I'll have to go back and listen.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
Was,
Let me know.
I was completely out of it
Yeah.
on Wednesday.
Let me know
so-
what you think about it. All right, Mom. Thanks for calling
All right.
in. We'll talk to you again next week.
I'll be texting you tomorrow, giving you a hard time and Sunday.
Sounds good.
All right.
Bye, Mom.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, Douglas, thanks for pushing all the buttons. Nate, thanks for bringing it. Kurt, we
Man, it
miss
was
you.
fun.
Kent, thanks for helping us get on the air. Presley, thanks for getting everything scheduled. Everybody else that's a part of the show, we appreciate you.
Congratulations, Gil Brandt.
Yes, sir.
Broaddus.
Gil Brandt Broaddus, thanks for coming in. Everybody enjoy your weekend because we'll have a super long day on Monday. No show on Monday, but we will be back on Tuesday to talk about this Cowboys victory, how they completely changed the offensive game plan and got Amari Cooper involved from the jump, how well the offensive line played, and how in the world did Dak throw for over 315 yards and Zeke run for over 120.
With 12 touchdowns all in.
So much offense.
12 touchdowns.
We will see you guys next week. Hanging with the boys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!